The 6th episode of the 3rd season has definitely blown me away. The lore, the tension, the plot lines, the plot twists? I was not expecting any of these things at all. The cast mentioned in their interviews that this season would be epic, spine-chilling, and downright terrifying, but I wasn't expecting it all to be this good. While we may not have all the answers, we do have some of them, and in today's video, we'll try to understand and answer exactly what Tabitha's nightmares mean, and how they affect the bigger picture. If you're curious, then stay tuned. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Tabitha The Chosen One. I think when the finale of the 2nd season premiered, we were all shocked and speechless seeing Tabitha suddenly out and about in the real world. Since the very first episode of this horror TV show, we all wanted our favorite characters to figure out a way to leave this town. I personally bet my money on Boyd being the first one out. However, it was Tabitha who managed to get out of the place before anybody else. One of the things that I desperately wanted to know from season 3 was the reason behind Tabitha being the one to step out of the town. Sure enough, we got our answers. When she met up with Henry, Victor's father, he told her about his wife Miranda and her visions. Miranda had started getting vivid dreams and hallucinations about the town since Henry's 35th birthday, when they both did acid together. All the descriptions that she had about this place tied in really well with this mysterious town. Miranda told Henry that each time there was a chosen one picked out amongst the townsfolk, and if the chosen one managed to save the kids from the locked tower, everyone would be able to go home. With that information and Tabitha's circumstances of ending up in Camden, everyone basically agreed on the same thing. Tabitha must be the chosen one out of the lot. She kept seeing the Ankui kids. She kept hallucinating about the tower. She has that motherly protective instinct. Overall, if there had to be someone who was meant to save the kids, it had to be Tabitha. She just fits the bill. While this is the answer we got at face value, and yes, we did accept it, I'm sure somewhere deep down, we were all wondering the same damn thing. Why was Tabitha chosen out of everyone in the town? I mean, if a protective mother was what they needed, it could have been Lauren, you know, Megan's mom. She is a mother. I'm sure she would have been just as protective about her kids had Megan not opened the window and let the creature in. So now the question shifted from why was Tabitha sent out in the real world to why is Tabitha the chosen one? As the 3rd season progressed, I'm sure we all noticed the similarities between Miranda and Tabitha, right? They both apparently made the same bracelet. They both have the same favorite song when it comes to their respective couple songs. The resemblance is uncanny. Heck, Tabitha even says things that Victor's mother used to tell him. I mean, yes, maybe it's the maternal instinct speaking, but the resemblance is undeniable. That's why I used to wonder if Miranda getting the visions even before she ever stepped into the town was going to be just a Miranda thing. What if every chosen one gets an inkling of the place even before they get trapped? And that is what makes them the chosen one. Because, you know, in their dreams, they get some information dump which they have to figure out while in the town. We all brush away our dreams as meaningless when we wake up, but on the rare occasion when something we see in the dream comes to impact real life, we're all like, hold on, didn't this happen already? And now suddenly the meaningless scenes from our dreams, which without context sounds super stupid, make total sense in a creepy way. What I'm trying to say is, I think Miranda managed to figure out the whole bottle tree to the lighthouse connection because she used to have those dreams which acted like breadcrumbs for her to follow. It could also be that maybe Miranda figured out what was wrong with Christopher because of her dreams. We saw shadowy figures in her paintings, and it doesn't sound too far-fetched that Miranda managed to solve the mystery to a degree because of them, right? That is the reason why when Tabitha's chosen one status was revealed to us, I kept thinking about her visions. Not that we got a lot of Tabitha's visions over the 2 seasons, other than the ghoulish kids in the tower, but we make do with what we have. And then, when I was at my wit's end, episode 6 dropped. And oh boy, I was not ready for it. There I was, happily minding my own business, supporting Tabitha's decision to bring Ethan to Jade after the ghoulish kids showed up in the house, when boom, Tabitha recognized the sketches of the spooky scarecrows. On top of that, she also managed to guess the 3 red stones that Jade saw when he went to the forest to pee. When I tell you I was hyped, you better believe it. I was one step away from screaming at my screen because yes, this is so big! What does Tabitha's nightmare mean? So in the episode, lucky for us, we get a little sneak peek into Tabitha's dream. We have the cute little Tabitha walking in the forest in a bunch of warm clothes, and she reaches for the spooky scarecrows. She then goes to those 3 red stones and hides behind one of them. Then something or someone peers over one of the red stones that she's hiding behind, and Tabitha screams. First of all, the actress playing young Tabitha is so cute. She's adorable, and I can see the resemblance between them as they might age. The casting was pitch perfect. Secondly, this means that Tabitha is connected with the settlement and whatever entity has been loitering around at night. Let me explain. Think about it this way. The town is level 1. You have Miranda, the previous protagonist. She had her visions regarding the town. She's also the one who managed to acquire all the information she could have to save the children. She figured out what the tower was, and she figured out a way to reach the tower, i.e. the bottle tree. She did not manage to do it herself, as the creatures got to her. And then 40 years later, Tabitha showed up. She used the information Miranda had gathered, and she then completed the step 1 of saving the kids using that. She went up to the tower, got pushed outside, and showed up in the real world. But that is not saving the children. Not yet. So she returns to the town, and now we learn that Tabitha had dreams about this random settlement that seemingly popped up out of nowhere. From the beginning of the 3rd season, Kenny heard something or someone loitering around this weird settlement. He had told Boyd about it, but Boyd brushed it aside because they had bigger things to worry about. But now we have Tabitha, who had visions about this place way back. This makes me feel like this settlement thing is the level 2. Tabitha has to get all the information that she needs from this particular level, and then, using that, she would be able to finish the 2nd step of saving the children. And here's something else. I know I'm gonna sound crazy, but just hear me out. I'm sure we have all noticed the whole reincarnation and cycle theme that this show has been going for. What if Tabitha's nightmares are actually memories of one of the previous saviors who ended up dying in this particular step? And since the town seems to be picking up the next chosen one before they even step foot in it, those memories go to Tabitha, showing up as nightmares because of the big bad evil controlling the town. At this point, I wouldn't put it past the story writers to give us this plot twist. The aftermath of this established connection. Now, I know that we have 4 episodes left for this season, and there's no way that they would be able to give us every single detail about this nightmare that plagued Tabitha when she was a kid. I mean, they didn't do it in the previous season, so I'm not expecting them to start now. But here's the thing. I think that despite all that, this connection, or whatever we learn about in this season, will play a huge role. I'm thinking that maybe when Tabitha visits the settlement and those 3 red stones, she'll end up unlocking the main villain of this season. Remember how after Smiley got killed, we were all like, hell yeah! And then literally an episode later, there were cicadas swarming out of his body, which put everyone in the town on high alert. Yeah, so that is basically what I'm expecting. We have the possible setup for the big threat of this season to show up. We got Julie and Randall going on their own investigation at the dungeon ruins. We got Elgin going down to the root cellar, following the kimono lady's instructions. So overall, the 7th episode is gonna be lit. Since this season, all the characters are more or less teaming up. I'm hopeful that none of them would do anything so stupid. If Tabitha and Jade manage to make a breakthrough, which I'm sure they will, I'm hoping Jade would immediately inform Boyd about it. Although this has not been shown in the 7th episode trailer, I'm also hoping to see Jasper talking by the 8th episode. I have a feeling that the puppet will have some information, which both Jade and Tabitha could use to connect some further dots. Overall, with the introduction of Tabitha's nightmares, we as fans might finally have some answers as to why she ended up in this town, and why she was considered the chosen one. Marvelous verdict. When the 3rd season started, I was not so sure where they were going to take the story. I mean, the first few episodes were rather slow-paced. However, as we're coming to the end of the season, I can see why Harold Perrineau mentioned that the story for this season was terrifying to shoot for him and his co-stars. The stakes are rising. We're getting more and more interesting plot threads introduced to us, which at this point has me questioning how they would tie the loose ends off. And that, my friends, is a good thing. From gives us way too many questions and very few answers. Despite that, it's an enjoyable show, and I kind of like staying on the edge of my seat and waiting for the next shoe to drop. What do you guys think about this reveal? Are you convinced that Tabitha's nightmares have any meaning in particular? Or do you think this is a setup that the writers are using to validate why she was chosen in the first place? Why do you think the town targeted her when she was so young? Let us know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone!